Hi everybody, this video is sponsored by a contribution from Starlet, and this is what she wants you to know. Ollie, just to give you a little background, my much older sister became my legal guardian when I was 13 years old. My dad had passed away, and since he was in the Air Force, my sister received an annuity every month for me until I turned 18. Soon after that, I got letters from the IRS saying I owed on back taxes because my sister never had the deduction taken from the payments. So here I was, terrified of these threatening letters. I'm a teenager still, and my sister says I didn't know it was taxable. Back then, she said this: I had I had to handle the IRS myself until I eventually got a CPA to help me do an offer and compromise. It was financial help for me, and so now I want to know why she left me to take care of this alone. None of it was my doing. By the way, I'm 42 years old and it still bothers me. Well, we know narcissists don't like to pay their bills. We've heard this that narcissists do take responsibility for nothing. For nothing. And as far as she was concerned, it was basically free money from the Air Force. And I wonder how much of that money she just pocketed and how much she actually put into raising you. So I sent her an email a few months ago which said about the following exchange. Me. There's something gnawing at the back of my mind, and I am hoping you can help me get some resolution. Do you remember when you were receiving my annuity before I turned 18 years old, and how you filed the taxes for that income incorrectly, which led the IRS to come after me? Why did you leave me with all that financial burden and stress? You did not even offer to help me with the payments. It was really traumatic for me as a teenager to have the IRS after me for something that was not my fault at all. I would really appreciate what you have to say. Sister, that money was survivor benefits and I was told it wasn't taxable. The fact that you never told me the IRS was after you until years later and never asked me for help is not on me. You can't expect me to help you with something I didn't know about. And here it is years later, and now you ask me about it. You have distanced yourself from me and from other older sister for a long time ago, for whatever reason, for whatever your reasons are. And for me, that's your issue. Yeah, now I'm angry. I didn't cause you that stress. You caused it yourself because you didn't ask for help. I hope that answers your question. So again, already pushing off responsibility, and there's no way she didn't know that wasn't taxable. No way. They're very clear about it. Because when my father, Normus, started faking his disability and was on state disability, and he was receiving Social Security benefits for my brother, because I was 18 when he pulled this at 41. Um, so my brother was 12. So he started receiving Social Security benefits not only for himself, but monthly ones for my brother as well from the time he was 12 until he graduated college in New Jersey, which he was 22, I think, when he graduated, 23. He received those benefits, and they knew that they made it clear about this was taxable. So Starlet's response is me. The fact that you never told me the IRS was after you until years later and never asked me for help is not on me. She quoted that. This is a bold-faced lie. I was still living with you when you got that first letter. I panicked and you went to the first thing. I didn't know what it was all about. When I asked you about it, all you said was, "Oh, I didn't know it was taxable," and that was it. Quote, she's quoting her sister again, "You can't expect me to help you with something I didn't know about." Her answer, "Are you sure you don't want to rethink that? Because that is wrong. You have not addressed my question, so let me ask it again. Why did you leave me with all that financial burden and stress? As far as my distancing myself, that is a completely separate topic for another conversation." Sister's reply, "I know we have different opinions on what happened back then, but that's the way it is. It was never my intent to cause you stress or pain of any kind, and I'm sorry you felt that way. I can't change the past. I have no idea what brought this subject up again for you, but I hope you can find a way to get past it. The past is the past, and the only thing we can do is move forward. I hope I have answered your question. And the past is not, they love that. The past is the past. The past is not the past dealing with the narcissist, because the past is what puts us in our current state of mind. And until we get answers and that is dealt with, the past is the present dealing with the narcissist. Her reply, no, it does not. That is a completely pathetic response. You have dismissed all your responsibility. This has been gnawing at me forever, and I deserve an actual answer. Sister's reply, I haven't dismissed anything. I answered you the best I can, and I'm done with the subject. Typical runaway. Typical runaway response. You got the answer I have, and I'm not discussing this through email anymore. You know, and the sister's almost answering like one of these politicians testifying before Congress with, you know, like they're answering a direct question, and it's like, so, and they give you this runaround. It's like, well, I answered the question. Just because your mouth is moving, bitch, okay, doesn't mean you're answering my question. But to the narcissist, they think they're so special and entitled. The fact that they would even muster up the energy to produce words out of their mouth to address what you're asking them is enough. Her Starlet's response, I accept the fact that you will never own up to this one issue that is important to me. Throughout these exchanges, you have attempted to reframe what actually happened and make it all out to be my fault, which is not true. Yet to this day, you are so unwilling to confront the fact that you neglected to support me during that time. She quotes her sister again, you got the answer I have. I'm not discussing this through email anymore. Starlet's reply to that was, you don't care about what is right or fair. Your comments tell me everything I need to know. And you're exactly right. You're exactly right, because you're figuring out how this woman's answering you. As far as my distancing myself from you, who and what we surround ourselves with is who and what we become. In the midst of good people, it's easy to be good. In the midst of bad people, it's easy to be bad. And that's a quote from Karen Marie Monning. Her sister's reply, if this is so important to you, why did you wait over 20 years to bring it up? Because it takes that long for us to even muster up the courage or even get the clarity through no contact to figure out that this needs to be challenged, that this is a problem. Okay? This is why the past is not the past with the narcissist. This is why. Because it takes so freaking long to make breakthroughs on this. We are only at the precipice of understanding what narcissism is and the narcissistic personality disorder is. We're at the beginning. We went decades of our lives not even be able to verbalize what was happening to us. If you want to hold a grudge, you go right ahead. You are only hurting yourself. Again, you see, you're only hurting yourself. I didn't put blame on you or say it was your fault. I don't think we had good communication even back then. I am sorry you feel the way you do about this, but once again, that's your issue, and it wouldn't matter what I said. I did a lot for you, even when you had your tonsils out and got hooked on your pain meds. I was there for you. I did the best I could for you. If you want to distance yourself, that's fine, but you need to be adding to the issues you already carry, and it will just continue to hurt you. Learn some forgiveness. It'll lighten your heart, and there's nothing more frustrating than the narcissist trying to pretend they're above it all. I'm sorry you feel that way. The half-assed the apology with the blame still attached to it. Typical narcissism. Starlet's reply. The few times I have tried to address this with you, I've always got a negative response. For example, right after my ex-husband and I visited you and confronted you on it, there was a lot of yelling, and you took all the pictures down of me in the entryway afterwards. I figured the more time that has passed, you would be able to talk about it with me in a rational and calm manner. It appears I was mistaken, since you are the one still angry and combative. And that's just, yeah. Time doesn't calm these people down. You're going to get the same response every time you ask it. And that move of taking down your pictures is such an aggressive, not even a passive, but like a forwardly aggressive act of I'm just going, you're this easy to erase from my life. Just pull down your pictures and that's it. It's that easy. And then she has the fucking balls to be like, why are you after this over 20 years? Well, Jesus fucking Christ, if I could just be erased, if I grew up just being able to be erased by having fucking pictures taken down of me, well, gee, I don't know why it would take me 20 years to really come at you like this or even figure out why it was such a huge problem. She quotes her sister again. I got hooked on your pain meds. I was there for you. You are lying. I did not become hooked on my pain medication. It actually made me sick. Vicodin is on my medical records as an allergen. I want to focus on the problem without you attempting to gaslight me. Your reaction is still very negative and dismissive. Rewriting history, as well as throwing irrelevant half-truths into the mix, will not help us move forward. Her sister's reply. I made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I guess this was one of them. I honestly don't remember the arguments we had, but I probably blocked them out. I want you to know it was not my intention to cause you suffering, and I'm sorry if I did. That's almost an apology and an admission that she's fucked up. Believe me, I'm getting payback for all the mistakes I've made in the past. I've been sick since November with a sinus and ear infection that will not go away. And on top of that, my son and his family are living with me because they became homeless and I couldn't see my two granddaughters living on the street. I co-signed for my daughter to get tires for her car because she really needed them and she didn't make the payment, so I had to cover that as well. My life is in such a disarray and it hurts. You are very lucky you have a wonderful husband that takes care of you and you have a good life. Wow. You know, that husband thing, that is such straight jealousy, you know, and that's something, again, my narcissistic grandmother, Virginia, always used to talk about a good husband, you lost your husband, that's all that matters. And here's the pity party. Here's the pity party in the end, okay? I'm getting payback. I got a sinus and ear infection. Wow, that compares to the IRS coming after you as a teenager. A sinus and ear infection. Co-signing for tires for her daughter's car. She didn't pay it. Seems like there's a pattern of irresponsibility surrounding this woman. Huh. The daughter didn't pay for the tires, so she had to pay. Like you got screwed on the taxes that she didn't pay and you had to pay. Huh. And she doesn't see a pattern of behavior here. The narcissist never does. I hope you will find it in your heart to forgive me for the mistakes I made in the past. I can't change what happened. Thank you so much for all the work and time you put into helping people like me. Best, Starlet. No, she can't change what happened, and she doesn't want to change what happened. She just wants you to stop talking about it and start taking pity on her because you have a wonderful husband, and that's all that really matters to your sister. She takes no responsibility for anything, and now she wants pity for the scenarios that she herself created. Again, because what she admitted to unwittingly as she was searching for her on her pity quest with you was proving a pattern of not taking responsibility for anything. The same way her daughter screwed her, she screwed you. But she can't connect the dots. Like I said, narcissists can't connect the dots. This is why the past is not the past when dealing with the narcissist. Thank you for your contribution and thank you for your story. I hope this helped. Thank you everybody who's watching. Any comments or advice, leave them in the comment section below. And if you want your story read on the channel, you know what to do with the PayPal link in the description box. I'll have it right out to you. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again soon.